Alright, hey, I'm back. I was just thinking that since when I was first diagnosed with Crohn's, I couldn't find videos on just the basics. Everything was trying to be about curing or the end-all be-all. This is the perfect answer for you, how to get healthier. Straight up, this video is basically going to just be tips and tricks on how to manage the things you're going to go through every day. So, you're newly diagnosed or you've had it for a while, but you're pretty new in the Crohn's, IBD, colitis world. First things first, I'm going to try to make this as short as possible, so if it seems like I'm going fast, it's probably because I am. Pain meds. I had to pile up a whole bunch of crap here. You're going to want to go with Tylenol. Acetaminophen is the same thing as Tylenol, it's just cheaper, it's no name. So go for acetaminophen because if you're taking Advil and ibuprofen, that's going to aggravate your inflammation. They're blood thinners and it causes more problems and you don't want that. Or Midol, Pamper, and some sort of period meds because this tends to relax muscles more and it targets more the abdominals and things like that. For guys, I don't know if this will work the same for you, but I'm pretty sure it will because meds don't know if you're a woman or a guy, so it still relaxes muscles and alleviates things and relaxes the body, so it does actually tend to help you sleep quite a bit more. Let's talk about going to the bathroom. How much we love going 30, 60, 10 million times a day. Imodium. These little buggers have saved my life. Now these are the quick dissolve ones. They're just like little tablety and they dissolve on your tongue. They come in tablet, liquid, and chewable, and obviously that's the dissolvable. I find the dissolvable helps more because if you're having a lot of tummy trouble and you go to the bathroom like so much, putting a pill in your stomach, sometimes it passes through and doesn't absorb quite the same. So if you do tablets and a liquid, it helps. Now, you're going to want to take this like 20 minutes before eating. Even if it's broth, it's still eating. And our stomachs are so sensitive that our intestines don't care whether it's broth or steak. It's just pissed off and it needs something to settle down. When I'm at home, I still take Imodium. I don't just take it to go out or eat. I take it just sometimes because I don't want to sit there and feel like crap and go to the bathroom 30 times within like an hour. That is a real number, by the way. I counted one day. Pretty track. Anyway, so Imodium. Take it like if you're going out or taking the bus or going to meet friends for whatever, take it an hour before you do it. And then take 2 more before you go out. I swear to heaven, you will be so grateful that it may not fix everything, obviously. Ooh, breathing. But it is going to definitely slow things down and help you out in that area. Supplement-wise, fish oils. You're going to want EPA because that's an anti-inflammatory. DHA is for the brain, EPA is for the intestines. So this is the one I have. I don't know if you can see that. And 1,000 milligrams is pretty good for us because our bodies are getting beat up and freaking out. So we're going to need a higher dosage also because we have absorption issues. We're not going to absorb everything the same way. These little guys, actually, fish oils, if you can put it in food of some sort, you can pop them. Some come in clear gels. This one comes in like a darker gel. And if you pop them and squish them on food, I really, really, really suggest it's like a highly seasoned food or it's something that kind of has a fishier, well, it's not, it doesn't taste fishy, it just has, you can taste the fattiness to it. So put it in something that's really seasoned. Don't put it in something that's bland, like mashed potatoes. You'll be like, what is that? This helps with the inflammation of your intestine, and I can tell you it saved me on a lot of days when I can feel my body about to freak the crap out. This definitely helps. Along with this buddy right here. Holy hell. I just met with a lady, Priscilla Pelche, Nutters in Lethbridge. You should go see her if you're in this area. Glutamine. I heard about it for like sports and working out and bodybuilding and stuff because it helps your tissue repair faster. I wish I would have known about this years and years ago because this also helps your intestines. Our intestines are damaged and beat up and torn up and like bleeding and there's so much going on. This little guy right here, what it does is it goes through your intestine, helps lubricate and like heal that tissue, because we're trying to eat healthy, or you may be trying to eat healthier things. But how do you do that when your body's so aggravated that you can barely handle, like, having toast or having broth? So this helps heal it so we can digest and actually manage those things without the pain. And I've only been taking this for about a week, believe it or not, and it has really helped with my pain. When I start to feel things cramping and I start to feel that really raw, kind of like you're about to deal with some really painful days, the fish oils, and whatever I'm about to show you has just, it's kind of kept me at a steady. Now, eating acidophilus. This one is, I guess it's kind of backward. Acidophilus is an enzyme, a digestive enzyme. This is a dairy-free, gluten-free one, because with Crohn's, you do not want to go get a dairy-based anything, really. You don't want anything dairy. But this guy, if you take him before meals, or if you're drinking juice, or if you do shakes, seriously, it will help you out. Again, you want to go up to 1,000 milligrams because, like I said, we need to pack a bigger punch for whatever we're doing. Vitamin C. Whoop, whoop, whoop. This one is a timed release one, 1,000 milligrams. And this helps with energy, helps so many things. I can't even. Maybe these guys aren't really that little. I don't have a problem with swallowing pills because it's been 14 years and, you get over it. But I know a lot of people who do, and I feel sad for you if you do, because in the medical world there is a ton of pills. B12 and vitamin D3. Now this little sucker here and this guy here, B12 ups your platelet counts for your blood and helps you metabolize things into energy. And it's just really, really, really awesome. This actually dissolves on your tongue as well. It's just a little itty-bitty pill. It just kind of tastes a little sweet, like cherry sweet. This has really helped kind of keep me steady and even though I've been kind of up and down. But I'm noticing I'm not hitting like rock bottom with these the way I have been for years. And vitamin D3, it helps with vitamin D deficiency and absorbency and all that good stuff. You want 1,000 milligrams of this, so you want the 0.5, not the 0.2, because it just comes in liquid, so it's a dropper. And this can go in your food too. I just suggest that with these type of things and the oils and all that, you don't put it on something that's like super hot, because sometimes things that are too hot will actually change the properties or can take things out and all that stuff. Side note, my cousin got me these for Christmas. Aren't they like way super cute? I had actually made this video before, but then I couldn't find my cord. I had a different pair of earrings and I wanted to add these. Anyway, iron. Ooh. Iron and folic acid. Yes, you so need this because you're going to be bleeding. You're going to be sending stuff out of your system like 20 times faster than any average person. I apologize. Your butt is probably hurting and you're probably really tired of it. Yes. Anyway, iron is so helpful, and folic acid as well, because the energy and the lethargicness, and we get anemic, and we go through periods not being able to eat really nutritious food. As time goes on, you'll be able to learn your body and know what you need. This will definitely help with your energy. Alright, so I don't have any other supplements. But my main thing I would like to stress to you is you have to accept your illness. You need to accept that you're ill, because this is not going away. I know I struggled so much with trying. I thought I still had like the cold and flu mentality type of deal where you're used to dealing with something for a week and you're like, oh, this sucks, but I'll get over it, or oh, I feel so sick and I can't wait for this to go away. But you know what, hon? This is here to stay. I do believe in natural cures. I do believe in healing and all that. But while you're going through it, you need to face it and really own it. For years, I just ate shit and I didn't accept it, and I wasn't emotionally mature enough to really take charge and own my health, which I plead and ask you to, because it'll make your life so much easier. When I was first diagnosed, I was in a crap ton of pain, don't get me wrong, and it was very difficult. But since I didn't treat my body right and I didn't accept everything right away, I was eating stuff that wasn't good for me, and I had terrible habits, and I wasn't really taking care of myself. I just was like, nah, kind of going through the motions of everything. And the pain I had years later was so much more intense, and I felt my body had taken such more of a hit because of that. I can't even express to you the pain difference between now and back then, because I was eating all that junk and I wasn't paying attention to what everybody was telling me. They said, track your food. Eat singular items to see if you tolerate that, and then add things slowly, but I was not listening. They said to take out dairy and sugar. I did not listen, you know. So please, for the sake of yourself, your children, your family, whoever, and you know what, if you don't have anybody, I apologize, that's so sad, but you're worth something too, and you can do it just for you as well. Now, on the flip side of that, don't listen to every dietitian you meet. The dietitians told me, hey, you can eat whatever you want as long as it's in moderation. No. I cannot just eat however much cheese and meat and gluten and fruit that I want. It doesn't work that way. All of us are kind of like leopards. We each have our own spots, and you'll learn in time what you can handle and what you can tolerate. The key is to listen to your body and go slow. I know you want to be healthy. I know you want to try to get better as fast as possible and get back into life and all of that good stuff, but you need to do it slowly. I emphasize slowly. Try a completely plain romaine salad with a vinaigrette. No dairy dressings, nothing crazy. If you can settle with that, maybe try grated or chopped up carrots. Be careful of cucumber, because cucumber is hard to digest. If you're going to eat cucumber, peel it, and same actually with celery. Peel the back of celery, you'll tolerate it a lot better, but celery is pretty high in fiber, so I would lay off that for a bit. And if you handle the carrot, you know, write that down and kind of log what you can handle, and say you try to have a slaw, like with the red and the regular cabbage with some whatever you put in your slaw, and it upsets you. Then you kind of set that aside. Like, okay, I won't touch that. I'm going to warn you, this is for me. I don't know if it will be for you, but for berries, berries are very aromatic, they're very seedy, acidic, they're higher in sugar, and yes, they are healthy for you, but in those inflamed states, you really need to stay away from berries. I know blueberries are kind of okay for me sometimes, but it just sort of depends. Strawberries and raspberries murder the hell out of me. Pineapple's not a berry, but it's very acidic, very fibrous, and I suggest not to touch that until you're like really, really okay. Then maybe try like 3 little pieces and wait a day or two and see if it reacts with you. But yes, anything fibrous, make sure you're doing it slow. And if you want to try greens, make sure you're doing collared, leafy, cruciferous, or I pronounce the word weird all the time. Do them cooked, like cook them and make sure you drain all that stuff off, because that drainage and that liquid can cause the gassy, bloating, pain, and bathroomy extraness. So cook your greens and drain off all that excess moisture, and possibly try eating them that way. And if you can tolerate that, then I guess buy some time and then try a very small portion of raw greens. Oh, I made a list because I tend to forget things. Oh, fats and oils, that's another thing. Cut out vegetables fats, palm oil. That crap is so bad for you. And also right now, animal fats, pork. Pork is like the devil for me. just hates me just so much. I tend to tolerate white meats better, and I don't know how it is going to be for you, though red meats really should be avoided. They take longer to digest, and it's just that protein thing, and it's any protein really you gotta lay off of. And if you have some, like, see the palm of your hand, take like a quarter portion of protein, and that may seem like, oh, that's not enough or that's too little, but when you start to feel the pain, and all the problems you have with protein, and you start learning more about the impurities in our meat, you'll start to understand. Trust me on that one. Chicken and fish and turkey really do sit better because they're white meats. I know some people have told me they handle lamb really well. I'm not sure why, I can't really explain that, but they handle lamb better than other meats. Some people really respond badly to seafood like crab and lobster and shrimp and all of that. Maybe it's because of the type, because seafood, your body's in a freak out mode, so your body's going to identify everything as like, wait, what are you? Is it good, bad? But generally it's going to freak out over everything. So that's why you got to kind of touch and go with, try a little bit of this and try a little bit of that. And there's many protein substitutes I use as well. Anyway, so use olive oils, flaxseed oil. Flaxseed oil is one you cannot cook with, and you can't put on like super hot food. It needs to be kept in the fridge, and just put like a tablespoon or two over your food, but it cannot be cooked with. Your hemp oils, your coconut oils, those are going to be amazing for you. Your body is going to need full fats. A lot of people are afraid of full fat, but you really shouldn't be. The reason why people get fat is not because of fat, it's because of sugar. You can stick fat-free on a bag of sugar because the labeling industry labels things according to what's in it, not how your body metabolizes. So if you're eating full whole fats like avocado oil and all of that good stuff, you're going to be fine. So if you cut the sugars, it'll be fine. Don't worry about gaining weight. You're going to need the weight also. Gaining weight is really good on Crohn's. Not like in abundance, but you need it for those times when you get sick, because dropping like 20 pounds like nothing is not a joke. Especially for me, like I'm pretty small, and so if my body decides to get pissed off and I lose 20 pounds within the next 7 to 10 days, it's not looking so good for me because I'm only like 128, 130 anyway. Y'all like sickly looking. Been there, done that, by the way. Spices and stuff you're gonna have to stay away from for a while, and I know that really, really sucks. It does. Anything that's like paprika, cayenne, or chili, stay the hell away from it. Anything that's like spicy will aggravate your inflammation to no end. I can promise you that. Anything, like even pepper. When you feel your inflammation is going down, you feel like more remission. I've never been in remission. I know. It's crappy. Crappy. All the shit jokes, they're endless. Yeah. But stay away from peppery, spicy, anything like that. Onions, I can't remember what the word is for it, but there's something in onions that actually irritate the lining of the stomach and the intestines. Stay away from them. Garlic is good for you, but while you're inflamed, do not do garlic. Watch how much salt you use, because yes, you do need the sodium, but if you're having like a really high salt content, it's gonna burn the shit out of your butt. Just a heads up. Like, I know we do drink the broth, but sometimes you may want to water it down a little bit, or maybe just drink water with it, because salt, think of it like you scratch yourself, you cut yourself, you put salt on it. Does it feel good? Not really. And so if you have really high sodium, or you're eating things that are really acidic, like if you're eating ketchup or like tomato-y type things, you're gonna definitely feel it on your butt. So, by the way, get some kids' polysporin on that note. The kids' polysporin that has the numbing stuff in it. Sorry, I think I'm allergic to the sweater. It's like wool or something. Keeps like itching and like going crazy. But yeah, get the polysporin that has the numbing in it, and it's kids polysporin. It does burn when you first put it on your butt, and you just kind of have to like hold on and like, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, but it will numb things and it will feel better. I promise. I got off track. I don't remember what I was talking about. Alright, so now to traveling. You know, make a travel bag if you're going with somebody to take you somewhere. Unless you're going to a coffee shop, but I mean like actually traveling, like road trips or going to appointments if it's out of town. Or if it's your vehicle, just have something in the trunk, whether it's leggings or jeans or boxers or t-shirts or, you know, just always have a change of clothes. Keep like wet wipes in there. Keep pain meds and polysporin. Keep like something you can snack on too, because sometimes you get that blood crash, right? And I'm sure you felt it. You start to notice your body changing. Going to the bathroom all the time, you get super tired super quick, and just that, like, oh, where'd the energy go? And carry a roll of toilet paper in your travel bag too, or in your trunk if you own your own vehicle. You know, funny story, actually, it's kind of embarrassing, but I'm going to tell you, because the world, you know. When we'd be going up to Calgary, which is like 2 hours away from my city, that's where our doctors and specialists are. So I had to go to the bathroom, and we're in between towns, and so the person has to like pull over, and I'm like, oh my god. And so I'd like be beside the car, but I'd be like in front of the back tire. And I just realized, like, the past couple of days, I looked in the mirror, and I looked how far back it's seen. It's like, you know, probably the person driving or whoever else was in that car could totally see me pulling down my pants and my bare ass. Not that I'm like 10,000% sure nobody really wanted to look. But I was just like, wow, somebody just like whoops and glanced and be like, there's my ass. So now, just a hint, if you do have to pull over on the side of the road, make sure you're like snugged up against the vehicle, more towards the front side of the tire, like under the mirror. So if anybody's in the vehicle, they can't see anything. And then, you know, oncoming traffic and other traffic can't see you either. Still, I was just like, oh, I hope nobody's seen my really white ass. Anyway, emotional support is huge. I sadly know a lot of people who don't have that, or they are in relationships that are not supportive, which, if you haven't seen other videos, I just tell you to drop that crap. Because if they can't support this illness, they're not supporting you, and you are going to have a rough time. Crohn's, colitis, IBS, and IBD, it takes a hit on your vanity, your confidence, just every aspect that you could be influenced or affected by. It's going to affect this. And if you're with somebody who doesn't make you feel beautiful or handsome or respect you or can really tolerate all of this, you need to drop him hotter than a bag of shit. And I would know about all that shit. I had Crohn's for 14 years. I've dealt with a lot of people. And intolerance, you do not need that, because this is damn hard enough without shitheads like that. And I'm going to keep on saying shit and crap and all that because I'm lame and I think it's funny. And being honest, I was so embarrassed before about my Crohn's, and you know, I still am. I still have times where I don't really want to talk about it, or I don't want to be open to certain people about it. But it really made things hard for me. Like, my teachers would try to help me with my stuff, but since I didn't want to be like, oh, I was up all night shitting, and I'm tired and weak, and that's why I can't come to school. Or that's, you know, I haven't been able to eat for 3 days, and I'm shitting blood, so that's why I couldn't get my assignment done. I wasn't as honest as I could have been, and they finally they kind of got the point across to me where they were like, well, we need to know for your absences, we need to know all this so we can extend things and help you out. And when I finally like clicked in, it was too late and I was failing, and it was just because of shame. I wasn't. And then also, if you're not honest and accepting of yourself and you're being hard on yourself, you're kind of setting yourself up to lose out on friendships as well. I've shut myself out for a really long time, and I missed out on so many friendships because I found it hard to like reach out and speak to people, and I still I still do, and it's hard. It takes some practice. But I just ask you to be open and honest as possible, as much as you can, because obviously I've had this for 14 years, so me sitting here saying this is a lot easier than possibly you being newly diagnosed. If you would have told me like 14 years ago to like tell somebody that I have Crohn's and that means I shit all the time and there's diarrhea and blood and all that stuff, I probably would have died in my skin alive right there and then, been like, I don't think so. Not happening. Yeah, I guess the next thing would just be the shame. Really, what I came to terms with, and I hope you'll get there, or maybe that you're there now, if you personality-wise, is that you don't know half these people out on the street if something embarrassing happens. Like if you shit yourself, if you have to go to the bathroom, really look at those people. Like, I don't know them. What do they matter? They probably aren't even thinking of me. They probably have stressful days, and even if I think they're staring at me or I think they're talking about me, they're probably not. And if they are, they're a stranger. You're not going to see them every single day. And, excuse me, I know it is a bit harder. Like when I was in college, in school and stuff, that's where my anxiety really hit, because you do see those people every day. And it is harder to manage, because if something happens and you have to hear about it all the time, that is much harder, and I understand that. But really just look at people and be like, what do you matter? How much is your opinion going to change or make my life? You should worry about what you believe of yourself and what you think of yourself more than what other people are going to think. There are people who are really intolerant and who really don't understand, but those are the people you let go of, and there really are other amazing people that will be open and willing to support you and handle this. I had been in relationships where they didn't care that I was sick. They didn't care that I needed to rest. They, when you're in arguments, they use it against you, and I really... Honestly, I got to the point where I believed like nobody will be able to love me with this, but you will find somebody. Just give yourself time. And same with friendships. I got the most amazing friends, and I'm not the type of person to have like 20 billion friends. I keep my network pretty tight-knit and small. But I have the most amazing friends who are supportive and understanding. So if you have those people, please be willing to let go of the bad ones. And if all you have is bad ones, then let them go and go find some new ones. Because it is lonely not to have friends, but it's much more lonelier to have friends and still be alone. Oh, I'm going to cut, because I have a short attention span, to this pasta. Totally gluten-free. I forgot to mention, with food, you need to cut gluten as well, because the proteins, any form of protein is very difficult to digest. And for us, we're kind of going through a shitstorm, literally. But this is the most normal texture out of all the gluten-free brands. I've had pure corn pasta, rice pasta. I've had other weird vegetable-y ones. This one is so identical to regular pasta, my girlfriend can't even tell the texture-wise. And the flavor is good. It's got white rice, brown rice, corn, and quinoa. I wish it didn't have the corn and the white rice, but you got to give and take a little. Right now, I'm not eating it, obviously, because I'm with the cancer and stuff. I have to choose other things now. But there's a lot of gluten-free alternatives. Do not go out and buy the pre-made gluten-free muffins and breads and stuff, because that is straight up sugar and salt and starch and a bunch of crap. So do not do that. If you're going to eat gluten-free, then make your own stuff. If you have a food processor, it's even easier, because you can make your own flour from gluten-free oatmeal and almond meal and do meatloaves and breads and things like that. And speaking of that, it can seem kind of overwhelming at first, but there are so many good cookbooks. Like, this is a quick and easy paleo. It's gluten-free, but it has to do with comfort foods. So it's not like, whoa, what's that? Everyone thinks vegan or gluten-free foods like weird special ingredients, but actually it's all normal. So there's this. Also, quinoa is a great substitute for like pretty much everything, whether it's pasta, rice, whatever you can do, or like even like Asian noodles. You should not be doing that either. The quinoa, I know the cover looks kind of boring and whatever, but this has a ton of recipes and they taste really good. Also, with the gluten-free, this is gluten-free makeovers. I can't really use this anymore because it has a lot of pasta and other things. There are a lot of dairy-free cheeses, so you're going to have to learn to do substitutions, but like, bam, that looks so good. And make ahead freeze meals, because if you're tired and lethargic, you don't want to be cooking all the time. Holy hell. And I'm a mother, so if you're a parent, God bless your soul, you're going to need some freezer meals up ahead. So not your mother's make ahead and freeze meals. Bomb. So good. I made like actually I made this thing on the cover right here. And I did a shepherd's pie, but I don't like freezing that because like when you freeze something, it adds those extra water molecules, and so when you defrost it, it's mushier and wetter than it was when you froze it. So I don't really like making shepherd's pie freezing ahead. Anyway, I'm getting off track again. Blah. But yeah, super good. And look, it's even like alternative sweeteners baking. So it has like agave, turbinado, and syrups and stevia and all that stuff for alternative sweeteners if you find that you're not too sensitive to sugar, which I highly doubt. So there's really a ton of cookbooks. This is not even like the tip of the iceberg. I'm kind of a cookbook whore. I like cookbooks. And there's cookbooks like this, the Superfood Cookbook. Which cookbooks like these are awesome because they're nutritionally based. They're not just to taste good. And this will be something you'll probably mess with when you're less inflamed, because I could not imagine eating a warm lentil and kale salad while I'm having a shit fit. Isn't that just such a dainty name? Be like, how are you today? Oh, I'm having a shit fit. Oh. Lots of fiber in that. Breaking the Vicious Cycle. Oh, I didn't have my Gerson book. Breaking the Vicious Cycle is pretty intense, but it really does help because it takes out the dairy and it takes out a lot of things, and it's a therapy basically to reverse a lot of how your condition's behaving. But I'm not gonna lie, if you take this on, it's quite the adjustment. If you think going gluten-free is difficult, that right there is like Olympian style hard. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to talk about. Caprylic acid as well. I'm going to pick some of this up because I didn't have money to at the time. Caprylic acid, it lubricates your digestive lining, and which also causes less friction. I wish I knew some of these earlier. The caprylic acid, the melatonin, and I didn't know I needed specifically the EPA fish oils. So if I would have known that earlier, I would have been on that like I don't know. I would have been there. Yeah, so being new to Crohn's, new to colitis, or the IBD, IBS world, really just focus on taking things one day at a time. And if it gets more difficult than that, then just take it one moment at a time. Sometimes I have just put on comedy movies, or just put on music, or I'll listen to Joyce Myers. She's a preacher and she like lays it straight out. I like that. I don't like all that like frilly preaching. I just do things that are inspirational or an outlet, because you're going to need one. Your emotions, I find, are the hardest to manage. now, when I'm in a really painful state and I feel like I could just rip the throat off of like any human being, I know like, okay, my sugar's probably crashing. This is just my pain, and it has nothing to do with the people, and I can separate my condition from my mood. But back when I was first diagnosed, the pain was so intense, and I had no idea how to manage it, and it just drove my mind and my body and just everything, just mental. So even sometimes sitting in a bathroom that had too much patterns in it is just like so aggravating, because like I was in such a high intensity of pain, which I'm sure you're getting to know too well right now. Or if somebody just said something and I didn't understand, it's like what the fuck are you saying? Like, just fuck off. I don't care. Like, shut up. Like, leave me alone. Like, I just could not process it at all. It's like, don't touch me. Don't sit next to me. Don't, like, stop looking at me. Just, just so touchy and so snotty, and I just could not calm down, because my mentality, or not my mentality, but it was so overwhelming. I couldn't sort through the emotions versus the condition, because I didn't understand everything quite yet. So give yourself as much patience as possible, and I hope the people are patient as possible with you as well. And just know it will get easier as you go along in your understanding. Not so much maybe in the pain and physical aspect of it, but the more you understand, the more you'll sort through it a bit easier. And I really hope all the best for you. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me. If you want me to talk about anything, I for sure will. If you need sort of insight on like some personal, embarrassing, or like confusing things, don't be afraid to ask. I'll answer them, because I've been going through this for 14 years. So I remember how stressful it was being newly diagnosed, and how fearful I was socially, and especially as a woman, or, I'm sorry, it's hard for men too, because society puts a lot of pressure on men as well as women, just in different areas. So God bless, don't stress, and I really pray for your well-being, and good luck. Cheers. Oh, so just subscribe, comment below, let me know what you think, all right?